live. Thank you so much. Sorry about that, everyone. Welcome to the show. This is Loser Leaves Wrestling, the Weekly Wrestle, episode 16. As you may already know, we had a false start. One we recovered pretty nicely, I think. Right, Roy?
Yeah. You know those like signs that are in warehouses that are like, X days since an accident. Sure. We had one of those and it was at like a good 3 or 4 months, but now we're back to zero.
Now we're back to zero. But it's our fault. Bless Tam. Everyone give Tam a big boot and a holler. Thank you all so much for joining us today. This is the Weekly Wrestle episode 16. And we got a lot to cover. A lot to cover. And both of us feel pretty sick right now. No, Roy just feels lethargic. I feel sick.
Yeah, I didn't sleep last night.
Oh, that's not good. Why didn't you sleep?
A good friend of ours gave me a drunken phone call at 1:30 in the morning, and we ended up talking until 3. And he was telling me about how he's been a jerk for a long time in his life, and he's being nicer now, and he wants to be nicer.
Who?
It was Chris Warner.
Aww,
it was very nice. It was very nice.
Sweet.
Yeah. He actually went to an AEW show. His cousin rings the bell for AEW.
Tell me that.
Yeah. And he went to the first ever, he went to the tennis stadium, the Arthur Ashe show in New York. Wow. And he bought me the event t-shirt for it. And he hasn't told me for months, but last night when he was drunk, he was like, this is really dumb, but I got to send you this shirt I bought you. I know it's dumb. And it was really sweet. It was really nice.
That's very sweet. Everyone give a honk for Chris Warner. He's such a sweet guy. Make sure to also call the hotline 201-574-7222. Some hot gossip, and leave us some messages if we want that. But we should start talking about things, right?
Yeah, I think we just get right into Rampage.
Let's get right into Rampage. Let's talk about Rampage. What's something that shined for you? What shined for you this Rampage?
I think, that Hikaru Shida video was very good. Our friend of the show, John Buseman, called it out in our group text, and he was right. It was awesome. Shida's great. I just have this is me being this is a real, what do they say? This is a real
humdinger.
No, it's it's a real 21st century problem or whatever.
First world problem.
Yeah. But the wrestling version of
white people problem.
Sure. Yeah. Again, the wrestling version of that, where it's this is a good wrestling show. This was a good wrestling show. And every week from a wrestling perspective, Rampage is good. But all respect to Mark Quinn and Darby Allin had a good match. QT Marshall, we'll talk about him in a second, but when you have such a stacked roster all the time, I understand that it's a taped show, but to just do these matches where with such predictable finishes, who's going to win, who's going to lose. It just feels like a bit of a missed opportunity, just a bit of a missed opportunity,
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's because it's not live.
Yeah, right.
It's 100% because it's not live. Yeah. I get that it's difficult to do live and they don't want to do it all the time live, but you know what? That's the issue. That's why Rampage is just not that interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I agree with you. I agree that it's because it's taped, but also I think about SmackDown, 2002, 2003 SmackDown, which was excellent, was also taped. And that's, it's, I don't know. I just wish every now and then they have some matchups that I think Pac versus Andrade is a good example of that's an interesting match and I don't know who's going to win. But I think a lot of their matches QT Marshall versus Keith Lee, it's wow, okay, I know it's going to happen there.
Yeah. I did like that match for anyone asking. I think that was a good time for Keith to shine a little bit there in a nice way, kind of did some power moves to a guy that's not JD Drake for Christ's sakes. But he is seeming to be a little bit more wind in him. But even at the end, though, he was starting to huff and puff a bit. So, it's a process. He's building back up.
Yeah. I personally, and tell me if you disagree with this, he should stop doing that Beal to outside of the ring because Aaron Solo didn't look like he had a nice landing.
Yeah. Well, and one other thing is, it's not that it's Keith's fault. And it's not it's literally the people. It's the person jumping and the people catching.
Right.
He's really not doing too much.
No,
he's guiding it, but the people that really launch themselves are the people themselves that are getting those ups, and the people outside don't know what to do. It's not even the people outside's fault. It's the person running. With like fucking Orange Cassidy gave too many ups. Gave too many ups.
Well, big time. A lot
of ups. But I thought the show was fine. I really didn't. Nothing really sunk in.
Yeah, from a wrestling perspective, it was a good wrestling show. But like Tony Nese for Swerve, like I understand that like you want to put Swerve in the ring. Tony Nese's job in AEW is to be a good professional wrestler, make other people look good, and lose.
Yeah,
and he did it. He did a good job. But like that match, I don't have an issue with that match. I have an issue with that, like being the main event of Rampage when no one really super cares. Like put that on Dynamite. Give them 15 minutes on Dynamite. Yeah. You know?
No, I agree. But man, well, we have a lot to talk about. Anything else in Rampage that was worth it?
No, I don't think so. I thought Mark Quinn hitting that 450 splash onto the ground was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was good. And I thought Swerve had a good showing with Nese.
Yeah, for sure.
I've seen Swerve before, and I don't know if he needs just more character for me to, not necessarily that he doesn't have character.
I think it's coming.
More story. Too. Yeah, and I'm happy for him, excited for him. I just hope it doesn't turn into a Ruby Soho situation. If you know what I'm saying. Connor O'Reilly's in the chat. Welcome, Connor. Hi. Thoughts on House of Black videos? Sounds like they're going after Mox. I didn't get that.
Yeah, I didn't pick up Mox from that, but that's really interesting.
I do like House of Black. I like these little videos.
Yeah.
They're a little nonsensical. I have no idea what they're trying to get at all. But they are fun and well lit.
Yeah, they are
really well lit.
The production high.
It's not really. Actually, it's pretty low production. They're actually doing less production because there's one light.
Yeah, well, right. Yeah, but they got that light placed perfectly.
They know where they're placing that one light, and it's good. I'm liking House of Black. I would love to see them versus Brian and Mox.
Yeah, that's
actually
feud.
A really good first feud.
You know, it's interesting, and again, crackpot theory, but I'm coming in hot. There's 3 of them, and there's only 2 of them.
We're going to talk about that in just a little bit. Let's hold off on that.
Okay.
Let's hold off a little bit on that. Okay. But thank you so much, Connor. Thank you so much for joining the chat. Let us all know what your thoughts are. We want to know all the thoughts.
Yeah.
And continue to smash the like button, as I know you're all doing, and you're doing a great job. Should we talk the news?
I think we should get right into the news.
I think we should probably get right into the news. Let's start talking about the news. It's March 6th to March 12th. What a week. Tam, could you go to the first slide for me? The first old dang slide. Let me see here. I'm just trying to move things out of the way. There we go. Big E, top news story. Big E, bless his damn heart, suffers a broken neck on SmackDown in a terrible, terrible mishap. Did you see the video, Roy?
I did.
So Big E was on the outside and he was getting belly-to-belly suplexed by Ridge Holland. And Ridge didn't rotate him enough. And he basically landed directly on his head. And you immediately saw the video of him like locking up, like his legs and arms locking up. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Very scary.
It was very scary. Very scary.
And everyone was very concerned because everyone loves Big E and everyone wants the best for Big E. But we do know he did send out a video that night.
Yeah.
Did you see the video?
It was very sweet.
Yeah. He was just saying thank you to everyone. And he's like, I have my strength. I have my feeling. Everything's good. But I have a broken neck. So it's a C1, C6 fracture, not displaced. The bones are still in the spots they're supposed to be. So it's like going to be like I think it's a 8 to 12 week recovery time, which isn't bad.
No, not at all. Yeah, no surgery required.
No surgery required. We're all feeling good about that. But man, it's a gruesome looking. I was going to post a video of it, and it was just like, no, maybe people don't want to see that.
Yeah.
But they had WrestleMania plans for him. They moved him over to SmackDown so that it could be a reunion of the New Day versus Sheamus and his. We'll talk about that in a second. Sheamus and his flunkies. So this is changing now. I'm guessing it's just going to be New Day with maybe Big E if he's capable in the corner. You know, that would be
nice. Yeah. I mean, gosh. Yeah. I mean, look, I don't know Big E personally, although I did walk by him once and he's the biggest man I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
there's a reason why they call him Big E.
It's almost as if someone taped you to the front of me and we're still not the same.
Yeah. You would need like Andy Mack on the back end for us.
We'd have to really combine us.
Yeah. I mean, he's just by all accounts like the sweetest, nicest person, and he deserves the world. And he hasn't, I don't know. This shouldn't be about how he's booked, but wish him all the best. And it seems like it's the best of the worst case scenario, the best case of the worst. So that's good. That's an interesting match. Like, it's not going to happen now, but like those are 6 talented wrestlers. I don't know much about Ridge Holland, but
I know one thing about him.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Connor O'Reilly says, Black said, a man who's thought he removed poison from his heart will turn your eyes black again. And Brody mentioned the feeling of violence is an addiction. Okay, I'm not mad at that. Thank you so much for the clarification, Connor.
There's so much there.
Yeah, I think that's a very interesting. I did not get that, but I'm glad you did. Thank you.
Yeah.
Brooklyn Bleak said, did they show it on TV or did they cut away from it? Are you talking about the
Big E thing?
Big E thing? I'm assuming they definitely showed it because I saw the video.
Yeah, right. I saw a video of someone who filmed their television as it happened. I didn't see the actual.
Yeah, they
video
probably aren't sharing it again. But it's available.
It's scary.
Yeah, it's on Twitter. Connor says, I just thought those are some nods to Mox, but could be wrong. No, very interesting. We appreciate that thought because honestly, that sounds like a good first feud for this new violence connection.
Yes.
What should you call them?
They can't be called the Miracle Violence Connection. Well, maybe they could be, but I don't know. That's a good question.
Violence Incorporated. Moving on.
Joe
Inc. says, Violence Inc. Joe writes, poor Big E. Hope he's okay. WWE has really done him wrong. Lackluster title reign into what? Nothing. Yeah. But honestly, like, Cesaro never got that title reign. So at least he got something, Yeah. Brooklyn Bleak says, damn, that sucks. Yeah, it does suck. But he's got to be better, Brooklyn Bleak.
Yeah,
thank you so much for joining the chat, Joe and Brooklyn Bleak.
Yeah,
Joe says, aren't the New Days always reuniting? The New Day always reuniting? They split them up and put them back on a weekly basis, it seems. But they never really split up, which I'm happy about. They're never like angry at each other.
They never turned on each other.
So it's fine. They do reunite frequently. Brooklyn Bleak says, WWE going after trios tag matches. New Day is Sheamus's clan. First Sheamus's clan. That was, I guess, the plan.
Yeah, it's like for the New Day specifically.
Yeah. And O'Connor O'Reilly said, send for Butch. Yeah, we're talking about that in a second. John Busey says, I'm at work, work?
For today.
For today, but just stopping by to smash that like button.
John.
Oh my God, John. That's
sweet, man.
A lot. Well, you're going to miss this next segment. Tam, could you hit it? Because Butch makes the main roster. Butch is here. We got Butch.
Thank God Butch is
very
here.
Excited. Honestly, the best part about Butch is his outfit. I actually like
worst.
His outfit. I love the outfit. I love the outfit.
Well, because he's got like the man bun tucked under his cabbie hat, so it's like kind of sticking out a little bit in the back.
I'm into it. I'm into the look. I hate the name. Actually, the hat I could get rid of. But like, I love the idea of the tank top and the suspenders. I actually like that, but maybe I'm crazy. But he is now, Pete Dunne has had its name change, and now he is on the SmackDown roster as Butch.
Good old Butchie.
Is that, man, because word backstage, apparently. Word backstage is, before they even announced that, before he came out, there was grumblings backstage, apparently, that, oh my God, they're doing it again. They're taking someone that has a fine name and a reputation. Yeah. And people already know who he is.
Yeah.
And I think he's been on the main roster in some capacity for a match or two.
Yeah, he's made some appearances when he was champion, and they were like in England or what. He's like made appearances on Raw before.
I mean, even on WrestleMania.
He fought Adam Cole for the NXT title on Survivor Series like 2 years ago.
Lord. And so they changed it to Butch. And it's just that the last Butch we knew was a bushwhacker. That's the last Butch in WWE. What are your feelings on this? And do you hate it as much as you hate Gunther?
That's a good question. Yes and no. No, because this is a lot funnier. Like
this is funny.
This is really funny. Honestly,
they should have called him Tiny.
Yeah, right. They should have called him Tiny. Yeah, this is like very Pinky Blinders. Like that's, I guess, what they're going for a little bit. But it sucks.
I don't mind the pairing.
Yeah, the pairing's good, but he should just be Pete fucking Dunne.
Yeah, Sheamus, Pete Dunne, and Ridge
Holland.
Pete, Ridge, and Sheamus. Like, that's fine. Butch. Oh, God.
And just Butch, too.
Just Butch.
Like, just Butch. Do you think Tommaso Ciampa, now that he's on the main roster, is going to be just Tommaso?
No, I'm trying to think of what name they're going to call him, like Clark.
Yeah.
We got some comments. Joe says, yeah, but Biggie is super charismatic over with the crowd. How much of the roster can say that?
True.
No, it's true. But we'll hopefully pick back up when he gets back, and as a bigger baby face, because when you return from injury, it's usually a big deal. And everyone was real scared about it. Brooklyn Bleak says, Butch versus Hook. Somebody make that happen. I would love that.
Yeah.
I would love a Butch Hook match.
That's what Hook needs. Hook needs a Butch.
Honestly, Butch, I'm already into it. Honestly, this conversation has made me into it. Joe says, God, why rename your own guys when they come from your own brand? So dumb. Yeah, it's very dumb. It is very dumb. But you know what? Honestly, even if he goes back to Pete Dunne, he should be called Butch Pete Dunne.
Butch Dunne.
Pete Butch Dunne.
Butch Peters.
Joe says, looks like they just walked out of the 1920s speakeasy.
That's what they're going for.
Honestly, they could have gone much worse. They could have gotten much worse.
Well, we're just getting started. Let's see.
We're not done with the day. Brooklyn Bleak says, is Butch a nickname or supposed to be an actual name? If a nickname, then he could drop Butch and go back to Pete when he goes solo. He's just Butch.
Yeah, he's just Butch.
He's just Butch, dog.
He's just Butch. And Ridge Holland, I hear they're going to change his name to Luke. Butch and Luke.
Oh, that's cute.
The Bushwhackers.
Very cute. Very, very cute. Let's sound off what you think about this new Bushwhacker Dunne. Moving on. Next slide there, Tam. Sticking with WWE, is someone else that's making a potential main roster turn or return or whatever. Cody Rhodes. There's still talk about this.
Here we go.
There's a lot of things going on here, and it's making me suspicious. But I've always been suspicious. I've never stopped being suspicious.
That's your thing.
That is my thing. Cody Rhodes is still in the talks to potentially have a match against Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. Would be a great match.
Sure.
Would be a great match.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you right now, I don't think it's going to happen. I think Cody is going back to AEW. I think it's going to happen WrestleMania weekend. He's going to go back to AEW. I think him and Tony Khan, and they said it before. Tony Khan is just like, I think Cody has something up his sleeve or something like that. They had so much support. This is all an angle. This is an angle for him to take a little break from his body, to recover from his burns or whatever.
Oh my God.
Take a little break and also build intrigue. They re-signed everyone besides him. They re-signed everyone. You left AEW where you had a guaranteed deal, your guaranteed contract to go to not have a guaranteed something at WWE. Like, it's still not, I don't get it. I don't get why, and it's looking more and more phony as it goes on.
That's interesting. Yeah, it's funny because it's like Marco Stunt, Big Swole, and Cody Rhodes. So far, I think are the only people whose contracts haven't been renewed.
You brought Cage back.
Yeah, I know. It's very strange. I mean, I was listening to or reading something. I think it was Meltzer. And Meltzer basically said, if Cody shows up on Raw on Monday, he signed his contract and he's in the company. But if he doesn't show up on Raw on Monday, he's not signing with the WWE. So I guess we're going to find out on Monday what the deal is.
We're missing a lot here. We got some comments here. Mose, welcome, Mose.
Hi,
bless you. Call the hotline. We want more of those pictures. Mose sends us a few pictures of some figurines that he has.
What's he got?
I'm going to actually post them. If it's okay with you, Mose. Mose, let me know if it's okay to post. By the way, if you send me shit, I'm going to post it. Well, not everything. You guys know what I'm talking about. Mose says, Team Red, Cody will not show in WWE. I think so. But this is a Team Red and Roy thing, right? You don't think he's do you think he's going to show?
No, I'm like leaning more and more towards Team Red every day in this scenario. But I don't know. I mean, I honestly, though, there's a part of me that believes even if he shows up in the WWE, fine, he'll be there for a year and then he's going to go back.
Yeah, no, that I believe that as well. I believe that as well. But I do think it's getting closer and closer to not being. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll find out. We're gonna find out.
Very excited to find out. Could you go to the next slide there, Tam? Because we're going to be talking about Austin versus Kevin Owens.
That's right.
Because Austin has officially accepted a confrontation with Kevin Owens. Yeah. A confrontation, but he is working on his cardio apparently. What do you expect to see at WrestleMania with Austin?
I expect to see a 5 to 10 minute like plunder brawl.
Is Austin taking any bumps?
Yes, I do. I think Austin's going to take like, what is that?
He's working on his cardio.
That picture makes me so uncomfortable.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I think he's going to take like kicks and punches and maybe like a body slam or a clothesline. I don't think he's going to take, I think he might take a stunner and then no sell it. And then get up and no sell it. Yeah.
No, he would never no sell a stunner. He hates when people no sell a stunner. He's so pissed about it. Connor says Raw's in Jacksonville this week, right? Home of AEW. Right. That's right. So this is the time.
This is
do
it.
Or die. This is do or die.
Yeah.
Joe writes, I don't think it's a work with Cody. He's going back and forth with WWE over creative control. If up to them, he'd show up as Stardust in a tutu carrying a big lollipop. I'm so sorry, Uncle Vince. Sorry, Uncle Vince.
Big lollipop. He's got a curly-haired wig.
That's very funny. And the Stardust makeup. That's actually, if any of our LLW fan base can make that image happen, send it to 201-574-7222 or looseleaspod@gmail.com.
Yeah, send it over.
Oh, check out freaking Instagram. Looselease Wrestling on Instagram. Looseleaspod on Twitter. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much, Joe, for that image, because I really like that. Honestly, that would make a great Weekly Wrestle episode 16 cover if someone could make it. Moving on.
That might be number 17 if Cody debuts on Monday.
Oh, that might be. They might be. Let us know what you think. Moving on. Still in WWE world, because I like to group them together.
Group it all together.
Next slide there, Tam. We have the newest member of the Hall of Fame, WWE Hall of Fame, Vader.
Yes.
That's positive, right?
Yes. I thought Vader was already in the Hall of Fame.
No,
I guess not.
There was a push to put him in the Hall of Fame, I think 2020. The year before he died. 2019 he died. Right?
I thought there was a push to get him into the Hall of Fame while he was still alive.
Yeah, well, he was pushing.
That's a great picture.
Isn't that a good picture?
Yeah.
But so it's going to be. So real quick about Vader. Do you see who do you see inducting Vader?
I was thinking about that, and I have no clue. Honestly, I went to like Foley. I thought Foley could do it.
So I was listening to He Who Shall Not Be Mentioned's podcast.
Sure.
JC's podcast, Jesus Christ podcast, the Jesus Christ experience, the drive through with Jesus Christ. He was saying, Jim Cornette was saying that he doesn't know who would do it either, because you're not going to get Sting.
Right.
His greatest opponent. You're probably not going to get Rick, because Rick is angry at WWE. Stan Hansen, probably not a great one.
That's interesting. I don't know how great he would be. Yeah, I think Foley's really your safest bet.
Yeah, and Jim Cornette won't do it. He refuses.
Oh, that's right. That's because he managed Vader for a while there.
Yeah.
I forgot about that too.
So it would have to be Foley, unless they do a family member or something like that.
Well, his son was a wrestler for a brief period of time, but his son is the one who should accept the award. And Foley
Inoki.
Yeah. Well, that's what's funny too, is like he was big in All Japan, but like none of those guys are gonna, like, what, Scorpio, who he was tag team champion in Japan with Too Cold Scorpio. But like Scorpio's great. Yeah, that would be fantastic.
We should have him induct. Let's get Too Cold to induct Vader.
Then he's gonna go wrestle the GCW show.
He's gonna come out as Grandmaster Flash.
They're gonna introduce him as Flash Funk. Yeah, they're not even gonna call him Too Cold Scorpio. Yeah, I don't know. Vader's awesome. Vader's really cool, and like, because his run in WWE was lackluster, I think fans who predominantly think about the WWF and don't think as much about WCW and Japan and all of that forget about how truly fucking awesome Vader was. His matches against Sting, his matches against Cactus Jack are awesome too.
What's your favorite Vader Vader thing?
Great question. His match against, he had a White Castle. Like, I don't know why it's called White Castle, but it was called the White Castle Strap Match of Fear or something match against Sting. And they beat the shit out of each other. And it was awesome. And then his match against Foley, was that a sneeze? His match against Foley from, I think, Halloween Havoc 93 maybe, was also fucking awesome too. And on a less happy moment, when he loses to Kane at No Way Out 1998 and he has to unmask, which is so dumb because he always took his mask off.
Yeah.
And they interviewed him after. Do you remember this interview after he lost the match?
Shit.
I'm a big fat piece of shit. I think it's so funny. But what's cool about him is that he left the WWE, got into better shape, went back to Japan, and had another great 5-year run in Japan afterwards.
That's good. My favorite moment of him is him beating up Gorilla Monsoon.
Awesome. Yeah.
Love that moment.
Yeah.
No one touched Gorilla.
Yeah.
No one touched Gorilla. That's why when the Young Bucks super kicked Tony Schiavone, I'm like, no one's touched Tony. Why are you wasting this? There's some comments here. Mo says, are you guys hearing about Regal having health issues that could be serious? Sorry, off topic, Flo. We will talk about that.
We're going to talk about that? Great.
Very soon. Connor Riley, Vader deserved better. Vader did deserve.
Yeah, 100%.
But some other news, just to keep it on topic with the Hall of Fame, rumor of Sid Vicious being another member of the Hall of Fame.
I was wondering if you were going to bring that up with this picture. Yeah.
Yeah. What are your feelings on Sid Vicious getting in the Hall of Fame?
On paper, he's got the credentials. WCW champion multiple times. He main evented 2 WrestleManias.
Yeah.
He was WWE champion.
And he was the hottest babyface for a period of time.
Crazy.
97, early 97, he was a huge babyface.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Vader, right? It was supposed to be Vader who beat Shawn Michaels at Survivor Series 96, but
it's time.
Sid got hot.
Yeah.
Sid got hot. And Sid's an incredible character because he's a big bonehead.
Yeah.
He's not very talented. He's a giant bonehead who can't talk, but he was just always so over.
Yeah. Always so over. And he also thinks that he's never gotten a push, which is very funny.
Which is so funny.
I love that. There's an interview he did 20 years ago, and he's just like, yeah, they never gave anything to me. I took everything. It was all me, I'm a great promo. I'm a great wrestler. And he's just all the things.
Oh my God.
Tony, boom, Vader time. Damn right, Tony. Welcome to the chat. We're all feeling sick. I'm feeling sick. Roy's feeling lethargic. Brooklyn Blake, has anybody ever attempted two Cold Scorpios drop the bombshell leg drop move? The most ridiculously over-the-top move for a leg drop.
Have you ever seen that? You know that move?
Is that the...
He does a moonsault, but it's like a moonsault leg drop.
Oh, I have seen it, and I hate it. Because it doesn't make sense.
It's a scary move.
It doesn't make sense.
It's
but
awesome.
No, I hate it. It's like the fucking Spanish fly. I don't like it.
Oh,
like
okay. That's fair.
It don't make sense.
I get it.
All right.
Why? Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter.
What? You want to talk about the Spanish fly?
No. I don't care about the Spanish fly. I just think, why wouldn't a top rope move? Why doesn't that make sense? It's a top rope move.
Because he's doing a moonsault, right?
Yeah.
He's doing back, and he's going to land on his butt.
Yeah.
And his leg, there's no pressure applied to the other person.
Oh, interesting.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't even make sense that that would hurt the other person. It's just hurting the guy giving it. What I like about Sabu's Arabian Facebuster, where he does the front flip into a leg drop, or the Houston Hangover.
Yeah.
The front flip into the leg drop, that makes sense because you're accelerating the leg hit. But if you're back flipping into a leg drop, you're just hurting you. And it doesn't hurt them at all.
What a physics lesson this is. That's actually a really good point that I've never thought about before.
It makes no sense. I remember seeing it. I'm just dumb. Because I used to play with action figures. I remember trying how to do it. I still play with action figures. I got some G.I. Joe guys right here that I have do wrestling moves all the time. All the time I have them do wrestling moves when I'm on the computer. I study this stuff. All right, moving on. We gotta get out of here. I'm falling apart. Ooh, next slide there, Tab. This is a gift, Tab, by the way, and I really can't wait to see it. WWE might leave 2K.
Oh,
2K, they might be leaving 2K for EA games, 2K Sports and EA games, rivals with each other, and they've had enough with 2K. They're a little fed up. the games have been slowly getting less and less positive press, selling worse and worse. It's just not a good feeling. Hopefully that GIF works. I really hope it does. It might not. I might have done it wrong. Let me know if I did it wrong, Tam. So like, have you played any of the recent games? You have played 2017. I have
2K19. Okay. That was the last one I got, the one with AJ Styles on the cover. And that game's fine. It's fine. It's just fine. There's not a ton of major glitches. It's just like playing any other WWE game. There's nothing special or unique about it. But it's fine. I was thinking about potentially getting this new one because they had spent years working on it and it was supposed to be this whole new great thing, but it doesn't sound that good.
And I'm looking at videos and it looks exactly the same.
Yeah, it looks exactly the same.
The thing is, like, I love the idea that they have a big roster, but I remember being excited when I found out roster reveals. I'm like, who are they going to have? Now you can just have everyone. And it's such a large roster. It's just almost like, well, nothing really, it just feels like the same game every year.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what's cool is they're created sweet. Like, see, the thing that changed wrestling games for me was that these WWE games, you can share the people that you create and you can anybody can download them, which is great for me because I don't want to spend the time making a Jerry Lynn, but someone else did. So now I've got Jerry Lynn. That's awesome.
I liked that because I was really good at it. I made really good.
You are incredible.
There's a great video of you and I made us, and you know what? It might be.
I always lost.
Might be a Patreon reveal one day.
Oh, it's definitely going to be a Patreon reveal.
Once I get a video game console, I did just buy a Switch.
Did you really?
Last night I just bought an Amazon a Switch.
That's
and
great.
It's coming in the mail Sunday, and I'm just like, why did I do that?
Well,
I really hate it.
You bought it through Amazon. You can return it very easily if you ever want to. I just bought the Grand Theft Auto game. I played it for 2 days and then I just returned it. I didn't end up wanting
it. Tony says Red plays with G.I. Joes. Damn right. I got 2 G.I. Joes right here. I got this guy, and they have wrestling matches all the time. They have wrestling matches. They give each other suplexes, give each other tombstones all the time doing it. It's a great toy. Joe writes, Roy's assessment of the 2K game sounds like it could be a review of WWE itself nowadays. Guess the games went for realism.
Boom.
Nice.
Got him.
I have zero need for this game. I really need the AEW game. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm worried slightly about the play, but I'm so committed to the Elite right now. No, I'm very confident about the play.
So am I.
I'm less confident about the graphics. Graphics look like
it looks like No Mercy
graphics.
It looks like No Mercy. It looks like an updated version of No Mercy.
Very blocky.
Think if y'all, though, I will just say this, and I don't know anything about it necessarily, but like if y'all think if you're used to the gameplay of these 2K games and that's the kind of gameplay you want, I would think you might be disappointed because I think Kenny is going to design it more in like an N64 kind of arcade style.
Yeah.
Kind of simplify things a little bit more, make it more fun, make it easier to play with friends. Yeah, maybe. I never played All Stars.
Oh, it's a blast. It's actually really fun. Brooklyn Bleak says AW game with possible Ring of Honor DLC. That'd be fun.
Yeah,
I want old Punk and old Joe and old Brian.
Yeah. Are we going to talk about the Briscoes later?
I forgot to write that down, but yeah, we can.
Okay. Because otherwise,
it's going to be in our AEW segments. It'll be in our AEW. Actually, I have a perfect spot for it next.
Great.
But apparently, this one is going to be make it or break it for this game if they don't have it.
I like EA personally. I love EA. I do. EA does hockey games that are really good, and EA used to do the baseball games, and they're my favorite baseball games. Were the EA baseball games?
Was that the bigs?
It was the Big's good too, but this was MVP. Great. MVP 2004 and 2005 were excellent games, but the Bigs, a lot of fun.
I love the Bigs. All right, moving on. Next slide there, Tim. Several big debuts on AEW this week. Several big debuts. We have William Regal, Jeff Hardy, Swerve, and Paige Van Zant officially signed with the company as well. Very exciting stuff. Are you excited for all these new acquired talents?
Yeah, I think they all have a place in the company with the exception, Swerve is going to have to work harder to carve out a spot for himself. But I think everyone else, like they're logical signings. They've got something to do. It's great.
Thank you. Regal apologized also this past week for going on too long for his thing. But Mo's mentioned something before, and which I have found very interesting. Regal having health issues, because apparently, like during his segment on Dynamite, he's mentioned something about like, I don't have long for this world. And he said something about like 10 years, the missus is going to have to move me to the window, something like that. He is fine. He is just being hyperbolic. He said like, oh, I'm in the best shape and health I've been in a while, which is very interesting because on the AEW website, he was under the coaches section and then he was moved. Did you see this?
I didn't see this.
To the active roster.
Interesting.
So when you say House of Black 3-on-3,
no. I would be disappointed in that just because he's limited. He's a little limited. Yeah. It should be Claudio. You have Claudio.
It should be Claudio. But the neck. Yeah. He had neck surgery and a pretty gruesome one. So he's probably not coming back, but my heart could still want, you know.
Yeah, we're gonna find out on Wednesday what's going on. Specifically because he apparently is going to be a guest on Jericho's podcast, which is going to come out on Wednesday. And he goes into a lot of detail about his health and the health issues that he's had. And a lot of stuff that I guess he hasn't talked about before. So we're going to get a better assessment of what's going on. I do think it seems like, and I could be I'm definitely drawing conclusions here, that there was a period of time like 2018, 2019, where his health was in dire straits and things were not good for him. But
2018, 19?
Apparently, that's what I
was earlier with his stomach issues.
That's what I don't. I think the stomach issues were maybe that's a reoccurring thing too, potentially.
But I know I think he had diverticulitis or something. But he's also had nose issues. He's had stomach issues.
Well, when he had addiction issues, he was like, I've read excerpts of his book, and it's like he was addicted to some kind of like. Maybe it starts with pills, but he ended up drinking some kind of like liquid that would like kill his stomach, but like give him a high. And I think that has like lasting like impacts on him. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Listen to Jericho's podcast on Wednesday and we'll hear all about William Regal.
I suppose. Tony writes FAE or FEA. Elaborate on that. Do we hate EA?
Yeah, Tony, what's going on with EA? What happened?
I want to hear about it. Thank you so much for.
They're based out of Austin.
Are they?
They have an office in Austin. That's all I know.
But let's talk about real quick while we're here, Briscoes. So the Briscoes, apparently people at Warner Media do not want the Briscoes to be a part of the company. And it makes sense. Do you remember Jay Briscoe's comments?
I don't know what they were specifically. I just know that they were very homophobic.
WWE was on the verge of bringing them in. WWE was on the verge of bringing in it. And then he made those comments and then they're just like, scratch it. We're not done. And so like they made comments. I forget what it was. But it was pretty jarring stuff.
Yeah.
I see why they haven't done it. They have apologized since.
Yeah.
And they have made some amends for that. So who knows? Who knows what it would lead to? But I do see them probably maybe not being on Warner Media, not being AEW, but continuing their run and Ring of Honor.
I would hope so. They deserve a bigger platform. And like there are definitely people who have said in AEW, based on the reports that I've read, there are people backstage who are like, the Briscoes are made for AEW. The Briscoes are made for television. And they are in so many, they're so charismatic. They're good talkers. They're great wrestlers. They look like no one else in the company, or any company, really. They are very, very unique. And also like for what it is worth, which is not a lot, but for what it's worth, people like Effie have also stood up and said like the Briscoes have changed, they're, a lot more open-minded and tolerant, etc. So I don't know. We'll see.
We all know Effie's the king of gay people. So he makes all the rules.
I'm just saying.
I'm just being teasy towards Effie. But Tony writes, EA destroyed Ultima Online when they bought it. I don't know what Ultima Online is. Do you know what Ultima Online is?
I don't, but Tony, if you were invested in that, they destroyed it. I'm sorry for you.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
Fuck AE.
We're on your side, not on EA's side.
We are siding with Team Tony right now. Joey writes, say what you will about Jericho, but he gets great podcast guests. I really barely listen to his podcast, so I should maybe check it out.
He's good. He's a good interviewer. He's good at that. He doesn't make it about himself usually.
All right. Next slide there, Tam. This is just a quick rundown on Revolution. Revolution is the most pay-per-view buys in AEW history.
Is that true?
Yeah. 110,000 buys.
Right on.
Part of that history, Roy.
Yeah.
We split between the two of us.
Yeah.
we're part of the magic. We're part
50%. Yeah. Hey, one day I want to go see an AEW pay-per-view in a movie theater. I want to have that experience.
That actually, want what? I used to go to blast screenings back in the day when you remember blast screenings of pay-per-views when they'd have it like at a college or something like that.
Yeah, sure. I never went to
one. Hooters or something like that. My college had one and they had it in the big auditorium with the big screen. And so like sick. We just go in there because no one used it on Sunday nights. We just go in there, watch the pay-per-view, and everyone in the room, like, it was awesome.
That's stuff. Awesome. That's really awesome.
Brooklyn Bleak says, thank you so much, Brooklyn Bleak, for joining the chat. They would be more unique if the Usos didn't take their actual personas, the Briscoes. Did they take their personas?
They would be more unique if the Usos didn't take. I'm not sure what that means necessarily.
Not sure what that means, Brooklyn Bleak. If you want to elaborate, we'd love to hear it.
Yeah.
But next up, we're going to the next slide here, Tam. Tony Khan says he's working on a streaming service, and he's been working on one. He can't give too many reports, but he is very excited. The Ring of Honor purchasing their library has been very beneficial, for this effort. They've already had a lot of content, but now they have thousands of hours of a library.
20 years worth of content. In the Ring of Honor. It's
very, very interesting. And apparently, the Ring of Honor offices, he's basically going to replace the people in the offices. He's not saving jobs with this Ring of Honor.
Really?
Ring of Honor. No,
that seems surprising.
No, because
he bought. Okay, right.
Because Sinclair is going to remove their people.
Yeah.
And then what's going to be remainder are just like he'd rather run it. He's going to run it himself,
Yeah, I still don't know how I feel about that. I mean, look, he's going to do what he's going to do, and I trust him until I don't trust him as a wrestling fan. But like, you're also going to book this fucking show.
Also going to book this show.
It's a lot of work.
It's
just a lot of work.
I don't like this thought. I kind of want him just to kind of trust people who have run it before.
Yeah,
a little bit. But it's not going to be the case. He's going to run Ring of Honor. He's going to book Ring of Honor. He's going to do it all himself. It's the Tony Khan show. We're just
terrible. But I'll watch it. I'm in.
Yeah. Mo says he has to bind with a big service. Rolling your own is just foolish. He's probably going to bind with HBO Max or Discovery. Discovery just this week merged with Warner Media. And so there's talk of either the HBO Max app and Discovery merging, which would be interesting because I have both and I want a refund. And so, we'll figure out what that goes. Very interesting though, right?
Yeah. And now's the time for the AEW BattleBots crossover.
Yeah. Now, oh my God. Oh my God. AEW sponsors a bot. Oh my God, the money just falling from the rafters. And one other thing about Tony Khan, he needs to call Chavo. He needs to fix things with Chavo.
Wait.
Go, tell me.
Who of the entire think about this question now. Of the AEW roster, you had to build the perfect team to build a bot. Who's your team? You got four picks. Who are your 4 picks to build a battle bot from the AEW roster?
I'm trying to think of smart people. I'm trying to think of who's smart on that roster. I don't know. I have a feeling CM Punk would probably be pretty good to have on the team. Yeah, CM Punk would probably be pretty good. He'd probably get into it, probably find a way. I think Daniel Bryan would be good to have in it. Tony Khan.
But Tony Khan, he can't.
What do you mean?
Because he owns he's
We're running out of smart people on that show. Oh, Keith Lee.
What about Excalibur?
Keith Lee and Excalibur. Okay, those are my 4. Keith Lee, I think Keith Lee already has built a bot.
Keith Lee's actually the perfect person. You're completely right.
Keith Lee is the perfect person. But don't you think that Tony Khan needs to apologize to Chavo? Don't you think he owes him an apology? He says he has to call this week. He's like, did you hear what he said? He's just like, yeah, I guess I missed a call from him. And then he just went on Twitter and started saying shit. I guess I owe him a call. Chavo lost it when he missed one call.
Yeah, take it easy, Chavo.
Take it easy, Chavo. We have some comments here. The obvious is, what do we have here? Mose, he has to bind with a big, we already did that. Mose, the obvious is HBO. John Busman, Coke Up, Tony is in charge. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He's fired up.
Yeah.
Connor Riley, speaking of content, did you guys see Danhausen has an AEW talk show premiering on YouTube tomorrow? Hey, EW.
I didn't see that. Is that true?
Yeah.
What's
hey,
it called?
EW. It's at the crack. Hey, EW.
Hey, like hey?
Hey, EW.
EW. Oh my gosh. With Danhausen.
Yeah, it's someone else. I don't know, but it looks good. It actually looks very funny.
Did you see any of see, here's the thing. That's content. That's them preparing for a streaming service. Like, did you see the RJ City stuff that he did?
No.
He did a thing where it was like the Road to Revolution, and he would get different people in his car, and he wasn't actually driving them anywhere, but he would pretend to drive them places, and he would just like riff with them, and he would ask them uncomfortable questions and try to get them to talk. He did it with like Statlander, Paul White, Orange Cassidy, Ricky Starks, and maybe one or two other people.
I love that. I think
it was a good time. Like that's
good
another.
And the idea of Road to Revolution. That's very funny.
Yeah,
that's very funny. No, I can't wait for this Danhausen thing. Joe says, agree with Mose. Unless you are a big studio, you partner with another service. HBO is the clear partner here. Yeah. Oh, hold a sec. I'm getting there. Brooklyn Bleak says, when Usos debuted, they were the exact opposite of what they are now. W was interested in the Briscoes. It didn't happen. So they just put down their personalities and mannerisms and the Usos like they did with.
Is that true? I didn't know that.
I didn't notice that. But thank you for the information, Brooklyn Bleak. Connor Riley, Smart Mark has to be on the team. Smart Mark definitely has to be on the BattleBot. Yeah. Smart move, Connor. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. And do you like BattleBots, Connor? We should talk BattleBots. Brooklyn Bleak, the beautiful people to like cool. Interesting. What does that mean? The beautiful people to look cool. Oh, just stealing things. Yeah, like cool definitely stole beautiful people's thing. Joe writes, the Discovery Warner merger was already announced, just being finalized. Now we can have Batman on Shark Week. You ever see the original Adam West Batman? The first Batman
of course.
Movie?
Yeah.
And he uses shark repellent spray. There's something there. Mose, Luchasaurus has a master's in medieval literature. I don't want that annoying guy. That's an annoying shit. Brooklyn Bleak, King Shark on Shark Week. Hell yeah, that'd be fun too. Connor O'Reilly, RJ City is Danhausen's first guest on Hey EW. Oh, so that was RJ City.
That's fantastic.
So that's pretty cool. Joe writes, what Danhausen is being used? Praise be to him. All the money's now. Hell yeah, all the money's blessings. Connor Riley says, I do watch BattleBots. Haha. Let's go, dog. Our review show. Did you check out our review show?
You got to check it out.
Did you find us through the review show, Connor? Maybe.
Talking bots,
or thoughts on bots, or bot thoughts. We haven't decided. And we are now the last segment of the night. The last piece of news. Next tab there, Tam. Fandango is all narrative. Fandango is now a part of Control Your Narrative. Which
what's his name? What's his indie wrestling name? Johnny Dango or something?
D-Dango, Double Dango.
Double Dangs.
Double Dangs. And they had their first, the Create Your Narrative had their first live show.
What?
Live
really?
show. Yeah, they had their first live show, I think, last week. And this is actually a picture of Titan Adam Shearer kicking a kid in the face. What? He accidentally kicked a kid in the face, and then he profusely apologized. Like, I'm so sorry. I'll get you a t-shirt. I'm going to get you a t-shirt in the middle of the match. And there's a video of him just like, I'm so sorry. And then he had to pretend then he went back to selling. It was a blast.
Does he have like gold on his arms?
No, that's just light. The light is.
Oh, okay. I thought he was like dressed like a Titan. I'm a Titan now. And he's got like gold all over him.
What I love though, he does have a double mohawk now. He has Hawk's double mohawk.
Yeah.
What I do love about this is that remember when he talked shit years ago about people on the indies?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's like 20 people in this crowd.
That's shocking with all the covers they're getting from Pro Wrestling TV or
they're the big way. They are the number one show on Pro Wrestling TV, and it hasn't even launched yet. The channel hasn't launched yet. It's crazy. It's crazy. They're blowing up. Connor, I came for wrestling and stayed for the bots. Connor,
that's so nice.
Bless you so much, Connor. Thank you so much. But that's all I got for the news, Roy. That's all
it.
I got for the news.
All right.
And what's next up on our agenda today?
Yeah, the last thing we're going to do for the day is the LLW Weekly Hall of Fame. We haven't talked about this, and so much has happened this week. Who are we inducting?
Are we going to induct the same person or different people? Because I have a very controversial pick.
Okay, go.
You go first. Who are you inducting?
Gosh, who am I inducting? You have to go first. I have to think about it.
I am formally inducting. This is a controversial one, and it's going to cause a little bit of an uproar.
Yeah.
For the first time, he's going to be entering the Hall of Fame. He hasn't been inducted in the past. This isn't like MJF, who's a two-time Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
He did a great job this week. He's changed. He's changed in my mind this week.
Okay.
And I'm going to say that this week's induction into the Hall of Fame, the Loser Leaves Wrestling, the LLW HOF, Chris Jericho. The influencer.
Yeah, okay.
The influencer, the pain maker.
Yeah.
Pain still.
The big one.
The big one. He is, I think he is inducted into the Hall of Fame for an excellent match, the best match on the card with Eddie Kingston. And then finally leaning into a heel turn that was much needed and well deserved. 100%. And it was just a positive thing. It was close between him and Eddie Kingston. I was going to induct the match.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Yeah.
I'm going to induct the match, but I decided to go with Chris Jericho. Who is your pick? This
is really hard. I have 3 nominees in my head.
You could only pick one. You could only say one. You can't go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right, fine. Both of these guys could possibly be eligible for future inductions, but you know me and you know where my favors lie. And I do believe that my runner-up will get inducted in a coming week. But this week's inductee into the LLW Weekly Hall of Fame for what he did at Revolution at his age is Sting. Sting gets the nod. Just to do that dive, and all of the people that put New Jack's theme music to the dive on Twitter, I appreciate you all. It's very funny to hear that. But yeah, I think Sting gets inducted because, and not only that, like Sting's work has just been so strong in AEW. He's been so good. He's been really, really good. So Sting is my inductee.
Excellent job. We have so the two new the class of March 12th. The class of March 12th is Sting and Chris Jericho. Now we got some oldies. Oldies. We have to really keep track of who's in this Hall of Fame.
We are.
I'm not.
Yeah, it's fine.
We have to look up now.
Yeah.
God damn it. But wow, anything else we have to cover, Roy?
Just a quick shout out to Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville for their continued build to this match they're gonna have at WrestleMania. It's been great. I love
honestly the only mini match I'm kind of interested in.
Did you see this whole thing where
second one
Sami Zayn got Johnny Knoxville's phone number and texted him, and then the next day Johnny Knoxville paid to have a plane fly over Los Angeles with a banner that had Sami Zayn's phone number on it? And Sami Zayn has been like sending photos on Twitter. He's gotten over 20,000 text messages.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I have to find it. We have to find it. But maybe one day someone will do that with the hotline. 201-574-7222. And we have some comments here. Joe, so we found out where to watch Control Your Narrative yet at 3 a.m. on a Wednesday in between infomercials for the Magic Bullet and Shake Weight. That's pretty funny. I don't think it's going to be on TV. I think they say TV, but it's really internet. Brooklyn Bleak says Control Your Narrative being number 1 on the TV channel equals fake it until you make it personified. Very fun. It really is. The entire TV channel is fake. Conor O'Reilly, Sting honorable mention for being an old badass. No, he's in it.
Sting made it. I think that came in when you mentioned your inductee.
He's in it. He's officially in the
Hall of Fame. And I'm glad that I'm the one that got to induct him.
That's actually very special.
I feel honored.
First time inductee to the Hall of Fame. Maybe not his last. Joe writes, Chris Jericho is a great pick. Politics Society is a legend in the business who has reinvented himself many times successfully. Okay. Let's not suck his dick too hard.
Look, I'm just saying, and this is a dick sucking comment, I guess, but like there's a case to be made that he's the greatest wrestler of all time. There's a case to be made. from a longevity perspective and an originality perspective and the ability to constantly be reinventing yourself. He's in his 50s and he's not playing the hits. He's continually evolving. There's something to be said about that. There really is.
Joe writes, if you want to laugh, listen to his podcast where he talks about trying to make Painmaker a comic book movie character. So much ego there. Yeah, I couldn't stand it. I wouldn't be able to listen to that.
Can't handle that.
But yeah, hey, thank you all so much. What fun we had.
We had
today. We discussed a lot of fun things and we talked about a lot of fun stuff. And we all had a fun time doing it. We may not be feeling too good today. We might not be feeling too good today, but one of you made us feel better. You all made us feel better. Did. This is the Weekly Wrestle episode 16. Please follow us on Instagram, on Twitter. Loserly's Wrestling on Instagram, Loserly's Pod on Twitter. Send us some email to loserlyspod@gmail.com or send us your hot takes, your voicemails, your pictures.
Let us have it.
Both tasteful and not tasteful. 201-574-7222. 201-574-7222. Anything else to cover, Roy?
No, I think that's everything. This is a nice tight show. Bumpy beginning, tight show after.
Yeah, we really, came in clutch at the end here. Thank you so much. Connor Riley says, good show, guys. We're going to head out. I need to take some medicine and maybe do a COVID test. All right. Bye, everyone. Get your COVID test. They're free from the government. Yeah, you should make sure to get them. Or if you're in America, I don't know how it works in other countries.
Right.
Not a great case, but he's a top 15 easily.
Joe, come on now.
Bless you, Joe.
That's a different conversation for another day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Later, Brooklyn Bleak.
Bye, Brooklyn Bleak. Thanks. Bye.
Olay. 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 Olay.